NetSN and Azalea Orthopedics bring you this Watlington and Shires production live from the pizzeria. Brought to you by Sabine State Bank. It's Coach Rick Meeks and the Rick Meeks Show, featuring Hiram Harrison, the only man in the building with 500 wins, alongside the counselor Stephen Shires, Larry Come On Ref Pierce, and Chris Watlington. The coach is in the house.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Rick Meeks Show, here live from the pizzeria, brought to you by Sabine State Bank. It's another week and another show, Coach.
That's it. It's going to be a good show, too. We got
I'll tell you what we got. We got the best dressed coach
in all of East Texas, if not the state of Texas.
I agree.
I agree there. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean,
great fashion.
I know. I mean, even like, of course, when he's just walking around, but I mean, even at game time, I mean, he just looks so sharp down there.
You got to look sharp. You look sharp, you play sharp.
Exactly.
That's what it is, man. There you go.
All right, so we're waiting on Chris Wallington to get here. He teaches class on Monday evenings, and of course, he's on Chris.
Huh? Oh, it is Monday, isn't it?
It is Monday,
See, I'm
yes.
even like, we've got so much going on. I'm losing the days, you know. So yeah, we're good though. Go ahead. What you got?
All right. Well, let's just go ahead and start with Coach. We got again. We talk about Coach G, our soccer coach. He is here this evening. Don't know if Coach Harrison is he coming? Do you know?
Well, you know, we had a kink in the schedule. We had to move our junior high basketball games up from Thursday to tonight.
Right.
They're normally on Thursdays up until Christmas, so he is currently at the middle school.
Okay. We'll see if he gets here.
Basketball.
But we'll talk about this. I mean, you sent me an interesting note today. You know, obviously, football coach to A+, grade A football coach. We know grade A tennis coach coached us to a victory in the team tennis playoffs. Now we can add to the resume basketball because you are head basketball coach for
junior high at that. You know, my first 6 or 7 years when I was at Henderson and at Pittsburgh, I coached basketball.
Okay.
But I haven't done it the last probably 8 or 9. But you know, we've had had something come up to where I'm helping out, and
is it like riding a bike? You just don't ever forget. Run them lines.
Running back and forth.
So it's been good. I've had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun with the 7th graders, and it's also fun just getting to know them and watching them compete. And so anyway, we're currently 1-1 now, and it's been good. So.
Well, one good thing I can say about the youngsters like that, their coaches, is like, you know, they're wanting and willing to learn, they're hungry to learn, but it can also, you know, you might be having a bad day, but those young men are probably going to put a smile on your face 2 or 3 times during that time too,
always,
right there.
Always, you know, and it's what's interesting is it's a different age group, obviously, where I'm at the high school around the freshmen to seniors and really around the juniors and seniors every day, and then when school's out, run over to the middle school for 7th grade basketball practice, and it's a whole different dynamic. Brings my patience back into queue, right? But I've had a lot of fun doing it, so it's been good.
Very good. Let's set the stage for the show this evening. We are starting kind of the sports we have going on. Obviously, we're going to hear from our soccer program and cross country with Coach G. But basketball is starting to kick up now.
Yes, sir.
So we got the fellas are going. We're going to plan. We should be able to cover them tomorrow evening. Pierce and I, as a bonus, we were able to cover the Lady Riders the other night. And man, I must say we were thoroughly impressed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Coach Smith has done he does a really good job. You know, he's very detailed in his coaching, and just the time that he has put in over the last about 18 months since he's been here in center and on campus and working with our program, you can see the growth and the difference just in the small things of the game.
Yes.
And how our girls have progressed and gotten better. And they played really well against Pine Tree the other night, pulled away late for a big 20 to 30 point victory over them.
Right.
And
But when G-Dub got hot,
really
it
well.
was over.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Gabby knocked down a few. That was good.
But I was really impressed with Coach's daughter, the freshman there, Smith. There, she came out there. She got herself in a little bit of foul trouble, but she was very. I was very impressed with the way that young lady played.
Journey does a good job.
She did a really good job
handling the ball, and what it does is allows Gabby and May to Gabby to play on the wing, May to play down low. Whereas last year we had to use them some to bring the ball down, and it kind of took some of their strengths away from them.
And Larry, I don't want to steal your thunder if there's going to be a segment where we talk about the ladies, but I mean, maybe it's now. But it just seems like that Smith can. I bet you she dribbles down the court as fast as she can run. I mean, it was the way she would knife through them. I mean, she just made the press just futile, and then we were able to get some easy buckets because she was able to break that press.
Yep.
Yeah, she did really well with that. But what I was really impressed with too was just not the May, and you would expect her being a big rebounder there, but I mean we had multiple rebounders there. Hubbard was going after the ball out there as well. We were doing very well against some very tall players out there too. So I really liked from the start of last year to the end of this to the end of last year to where we are this year to start off is big for me, and I'm really enjoying it.
I think the thing that fires me up the most is just watching the girls, the way they compete. It's great that we're able to knock down shots. It's great that we're able to run an offense or a defense, but watching them on the floor and playing defense and going after loose balls and getting rebounds and not giving the other team second shots, just the attitude and the demeanor and the way we play the game fires me up from an athletic director standpoint, because that's what our program's about. That's our kids competing and doing the things necessary to win games. When you do that, the wins happen. The scoreboard takes care of itself.
Right. That's kind of your message. We talked about that during football season, right?
And it translates to every sport. It's just it's part of the process, and trusting it, and keep breathing life into what your responsibility is, and do what you're required to do. Don't try to do more than what you're supposed to do. Don't try to do somebody else's job. And our girls are doing a really good job up to this point.
Yeah, they're having a great start to the season. I know they got some tournament action coming up too, but I mean, I'm sure we're getting ready to get into where we're getting ready to call everybody, and it's going to be a good season for Rough Rider basketball guys and gals.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, folks, we're going to take a break, hear from a couple of sponsors, including Sabine State Bank and the Pizzeria. We'll be back. We'll get Chris Wallington involved in the broadcast as he has walked in the door. We'll be right back.
Do we have to?
Rough Rider Oil and Lube, they understand two very important things. First, you and your family spend a lot of time in your vehicle, so you need to take good care of that vehicle so it can take care of you. That's the specialty of Rough Rider Oil and Lube, protecting the engine that gets you where you need to go. Second, Rough Rider fans, they deserve the very best, so you're always welcome at Rough Rider Oil and Lube.
Father, for lunch today, I would like a salad.
Father, for lunch, I'd like one of those American
no, I couldn't possibly.
cheeseburgers.
I'm a vegetarian.
Cheeseburger. That's what I need.
Father.
Ice cream. Oh, when everyone in your family thinks they're royalty, take them someplace where they can all get something good. Dairy Queen. At Sabine State Bank, you have a lot of things going for you. It's a small office, so everybody knows. So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the Pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the Pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Chris Wallington. Good to be here. Live from the Pizzeria. It's the Coach Rick Meeks Show. That's him, and that's Larry. Stephen went off. He looks good today in his tie, doesn't he?
He does. He looks mighty fine.
Very professional. And we have right behind you, as you look at the camera, I mean, what's the camera showing? Behind the camera, we have an entire team. Well, not members of two different teams that we're going to talk to in a minute. But now we're going to talk about them, and they can't really hear us, so we can say whatever. It's the soccer team, and we have Coach L, they call her, and Coach Munoz back there. I mean,
Coach Martinez.
Coach Martinez, Coach M, and Coach L.
Wow.
He won't live that one down.
I didn't say, maybe you didn't hear that.
Don't go back and rewatch that.
Yeah, that's bad. We can edit it. And one of our more successful programs over the years.
Yes, sir.
But I want to ask, what do you know about European football?
Well, I know there is Pele, Tattoo, and Coach G.
The big three.
That's the big
Did you
three.
say tattoo?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I mean,
it.
that's my knowledge of European football.
Well, we knew about that much, but I had students at the time that were winning playoff games. No one knew anything much about it, and it's hard to watch soccer because a lot of the games it's 20 degrees.
Right.
They play their regular seasons in January.
That's it. I know.
That is a
I
little
know.
different in here in
Yeah.
Texas to play soccer in January, but
Yeah, I mean,
They gain a lot of respect from me. I'll tell you this, Coach Latroche and Coach Martinez do a great job with both the programs. They do a great job with the kids. They're fun to be around, and they're fun to watch to compete. Obviously, Coach G has done a really good job over the last few years and continuing the success of our program. And last year with Coach L taking over, our girls made the playoffs for the first time, and I know it's been quite some time. And so just in the first year, her knowledge and presence and work ethic with those girls showed right away. And so a lot of them are back. We were a young team, so we had that success with a young nucleus.
great.
So I
and
don't try to freak her out too much, but good high expectations,
and they were just out of the playoffs, or they did make
No,
the
they made it.
They
Yes,
did
sir.
make
Last
it
year
last
they
year.
made
They
it.
did make it last year, yeah.
Sure.
And in that first round is where they got put
Yes,
out there.
sir.
Yeah, they played very, very well coming up in sort of like the girls' basketball team we were kind of watching the
That's
same
right.
way in there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to. Oh, I will ask her, but I know they had to perform down the stretch.
They did. They won.
Qualified right there at the
Yeah,
end.
2 or 3 of their last 4 district games to get in. And
Yeah.
So very proud of them and look forward to watching them again this year.
How much time do you? I'm fascinated by your life after football because you are the athletic director
Right.
and you spend a lot of time doing that, and you just off the top of your head know dates and times and all, and I've always been kind of amazed by that. So how much time do you spend with the different sports? I mean, I know you don't. It's their deal, but
Right. A lot of times, I like just being able to go up there to get out of my office. It gives me something to kind of just get away from my day-to-day there in the office. So obviously love watching them compete, and as they get going in their season, and their season stretches all the way into March. So, not long after they get started, you have them playing basketball, playing baseball and softball will start up. And that's when it gets tough because then I've kind of go in a few different directions.
Sure,
But
yeah.
I just like being around the kids. It's really and truly why we do what we do. And same with you before you decided to go, the college route and leave us old
yeah.
educationers
Yeah,
behind. But
I don't really like all those college students.
but it's fun being around them and all the different personalities, and it's good times.
One thing that I think really helped too, because I did see some pictures on this, coach, is like the outdoor facility, the practice facility is now open, and then even if there is some rain out there, that gives them a chance to get it may still be cold, but they can get out of that weather, and that's going to
Absolutely.
be so helpul to this team that they get their full practice in and out
I
of the
would think.
weather.
I would
And it's
think.
so great for that.
The other day
part
in
of
the
it,
athletic
too.
period when we had the weather come through, just in the athletic period alone, we had 3 different sports in there. We have dividers that come down, so we were able to divide it into 3 things, and we had baseball, boys soccer, girls soccer, all practicing at the same
Right.
time.
That's cool.
They can't interfere with each other, and they don't miss a beat, and that's the best part about it, and that's why we're so thankful for it. We don't. There's not a reason why we don't practice.
Right.
And that's huge.
Yeah, definitely. It's a beautiful facility there too. We're getting sign language. Morse code.
We're going to turn up a little bit here. That helps. I hear
Helps if we
myself better all of a sudden.
Oh, well, there you go.
How about
Yeah,
that?
it's up there.
Well, but we're just about to the end of this unit, but go ahead. But
I was just talking about how how great the soccer program has kind of come along here. I actually got the chance to get into we got into the chance of calling some games last year. Started to learn a little bit more about calling soccer myself. I've always loved the game of soccer. I actually broke an ankle in freshman year in high school playing soccer. So I've always loved the game, and I was
always
watching
loved it.
the World Cup, and and hey, my Houston Dynamo. I've watched them a few times down there. They're compete for the MLS Cup. So this is a great thing, and this can really bring good kids to school, and it's a great program. You have great coaches that are there too, and this is another one of those programs, coaches. Starting to build that family that we're talking about. And that's the thing, that you get all those programs there and that family there, and that's coming along too already.
Yeah. No, and Coach Martinez and Coach L do a great job of just the team concept, the inclusiveness of everybody, and and that's that's a big part in your team sports. Like it's not. It's more than just the Tuesday or Friday competition or a tournament here or there. I mean, you're together every single day, and so that matters. And they do a really good job of building that and the team bond. And but you're right, also too, just the simple fact of the facilities that we have now, and the things that we can get done to where, weather comes up, we don't just have to send them home at the end of the day or sit down in a classroom and just talk about things. We still can go get a full-speed practice in with space. So
there we go. That's perfect.
We are entering the off season for a lot of sports, and we're entering the fat season for the rest of us between the Thanksgiving feast and the Christmas feast. So staying in shape is important for athletes. It's also important for you. Ford's Gym, just to the left of your viewing screen, just on the square. Beautiful place to do that. The square is gorgeous during Christmas. Why not come work out while you enjoy that with Dambert Column at the Forge and JBI Insurance? You want to make sure that your family's insured, and Joe Bill's been doing that since the 1980s. Two of our sponsors all year long. When we come back, we'll quit talking about them and we'll talk to them. It's the soccer program here on the Coach Rick Meeks Show, live from the Pizzeria, brought to you by Sabine State Bank. We'll be right back.
Thought you'd seen the last of the Ford Bronco? Well, you were wrong. Ford brought the Bronco back so they could put the S in SUV. Comfort and connectivity for the highway to get you there, and then the power you need for your off-road adventure. Run at the front of the herd. Saddle up a Bronco at Center Motor Company.
What sort of thing do you expect from a good coach like Rick Meeks? To prepare you, to make you ready for the game, to make sure that the good times outnumber the bad times, but that when bad times come, you can weather the storm. What do you expect from a good financial planner? Well, much the same thing, so that your family and you get across the finish line on top of the world. That's why JBA Financial sponsors our Coach Talk with Rick Meeks. JBA Financial and Rough Rider Football. Center Rough Rider Football tonight brought to you in part by Covington Lumber Supply, 3 generations and still building strong. Ace Hardware, the place for hardware in East Texas. And Brookshire Brothers. They sold their first bag of groceries when the Rough Riders ran their first play, 102 years strong.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Rick Meeks Show here live from the Pizzeria. Of course, brought to you by Sabine State Bank. Appreciate them sponsoring our coaches show all year long. And now it's time to talk a little soccer. Or is it football? I mean, there's those commercials with Peyton Manning. Did you see those during the?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
and I mean, since we're in the States, you can legitimately call it soccer. So I think we can run with it.
All right, so let's start off the way we like to start off when we get different coaches on. Y'all introduce yourselves and tell us kind of your background. Take a couple minutes and tell us. Okay. I mean, I know about you, Coach. I'm curious to see. Just go ahead and tell the folks about yourself.
Well, my name is Gerardo Martinez. I'm a local kid. I graduated from Center High School in 2002. I've been here now going on to 8 years. Been very successful in building a soccer program that I'm really proud of, and year after year I look forward to it as if it was my first time doing it.
Coach, I think you actually did something even more than that. I mean, you inherited a good program and have not only maintained it but even brought it up a notch, which I think that's even more difficult than building one from the ground floor.
The good thing that we have going, or that I had going, is that there was an established youth league here in Center, and that helped us out a lot to create some sort of pipeline to get kids to keep coming into the program, and I think that was a very important foundation. Yeah. And now we really created a culture with a lot of the things that Coach Meeks has brought here to Center and created that foundation that was somewhat missing But I feel like now we have a really good identity as far as what we want to do as a culture, and it's definitely we've seen the fruit of our labor.
Absolutely.
Towards
And how long have you been here now?
that. Now going on to my 8th year.
Yeah, right.
Yes, sir. And
Exactly.
we've had some really good runs, and I mean.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a few minutes.
Yes, sir.
But let me go ahead and get you, Coach. Tell us
I'm Jordan Latroche. This is my 2nd year as head coach, but I've been in Center ISD for 7 years. I'm originally from Katy. I went to Morton Ranch High School. I graduated in 2010. Never played soccer, but I took on the program after being the assistant for 4 years, and we didn't have a JV, and now this year we will have a JV and a varsity.
Excellent. That's so important. It's kind of interesting, right? Because until when I started doing the broadcasting, I really didn't know much about soccer either. But you learn, and it's really interesting because you with Coach G and some of the guys kind of teaching us, it's not just kicking the ball around. There are these intricate strategies.
Yes, I've learned so much from G, and he's helped me out a lot with the girls.
Very good. And so we had a really good program, a really good season last year, right?
Yes, we made it to playoffs. We had made it playoff for a couple years, and we made it the 4th seed. We're hoping to move up in to like maybe 3rd, 2nd or so.
Okay. Let's go back to the young men, and then we'll switch back and forth. I mean, when did season actually start?
We officially UIL start the Monday after Thanksgiving. That's when we can officially start our practices. We just completed our Rider Week. That it's been a tradition since I've been here.
Yes.
This past Wednesday, the kids ran their finale, which is a 10-mile run, and it's been a tradition.
Yes.
Like I said, since I've been here. And then so now on Friday and Saturday is when we started our first official team practice.
Okay.
After, spending all night trying to figure what were the kids I was going to go with, because I have a total of 67 kids trying out.
Oh, wow.
And I only have 21 spots on varsity and 21 on JV. So that definitely kept me up because I have lots to pick from, lots of talent. And then there's lots of kids that work really hard and put forth the effort that us as coaches look for.
Yes.
So that was definitely a long night, I can say.
I can only imagine. When do we start playing?
Our first game, since actually UIL pushed our season forward to start scrimmages, our first scrimmage is going to be December 11th at Palestine Westwood.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's right around the corner.
Yes, sir. It's a week away, and it's going to be both JV and varsity at that game.
Okay, very good. And what about the ladies?
We start next Thursday against Carlisle, and it'll be just varsity there.
Okay. And when did y'all start practicing? About the same time as
the same time. We do Rider Week also.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yes.
So y'all talk about it, and you said it's a tradition. Explain to the folks what it is, because, man, it makes me tired just thinking about it.
Well, it just consists of so Rider Week was something that I came up with to create a rite of passageway for those kids that to give them something to push through, to whenever things get hard, and in any game throughout the season, they can check back into that Rider Week where they did crazy exercises, crazy workouts,
mentally and physically.
Right. And then the 10-mile run is no joke. Right. And it has to be completed within 2 hours. So that gives you a foundation to that fortifies you mentally.
Yes.
And in the moments where it's hard and it's tough, you go back to that, and that really helps you through those tough moments, through any game, and even through practice, really. And so it's been something that's been very beneficial for the kids to come together, because they realize that they just finished something very difficult as a team, as a unit. And it makes you more of a family at that point.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing like when you share blood, sweat, and tears with somebody I mean, it's been a long time, but I mean, me and my guys, we're still together. We still we text now, but we've all stayed together all those years because of the bond created by that.
And there is quite a few tears, a little bit of bloodshed, and
a little bit,
and I've been asked before, is this something that possibly hurts your team, because your possible team, because there's kids that actually quit because they don't even come out because Rider Week is so hard and so difficult. And I'm like, no, that's part of it.
Yep.
If you're not willing to put in the work and the effort to complete something that that really doesn't require skill in soccer,
Right.
if you can't complete something like that, then Rider Week has kind of done its job.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's been, I haven't had any issues as far as that. So it's, I mean, I really enjoy it, even though the kids don't quite enjoy it.
They dread it a little bit.
Probably when it's done.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really happy.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a sense of accomplishment once you're done.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about. I'll start with the young men. Let's talk about who are we going to be when we're calling the games? Who are going to be the guys whose name we're calling?
Well, we have my forwards coming back, Edwin Rodriguez Moreno. He was actually awarded the THSCA Super Elite Team All-State Offensive Player of the Year.
Oh, wow.
Last year, and he's coming back with 44 goals and 10 assists that he finished the season with, which was a high accomplishment. But it wasn't just necessarily the fact that it was 44 goals, but it was the quality of goals.
Yes.
Versus the quality of teams that he was able to amount some of those goals. And he'll be returning for his senior year. And I've challenged him to, to reach for a higher stat line and to be a great teammate and to lead by example, which he's done so. And then we also have Braxton Raleigh. He's also going to be a senior. He was a great offensive duo with Edwin.
Yes.
And he himself had a really good stat line. And then we also have, let me take a step back by saying that we had 12 or 14 seniors that graduated.
Yes.
And that's a big chunk for any team.
Right.
But the beautiful thing that we have going is that we have sophomores and juniors that can step in there and really fortify those positions. And I even think that we will probably end up being a little better than what we were last year, because I have some kids that have more experience that and that can always make the difference.
Right. So listen, you folks out there, the Center soccer team, we don't rebuild, we reload.
Yes, sser.
All right,
Indeed.
so very good. So tell us about the ladies. Who do we have coming back?
We have Juliana Garcia and Mina Olivares. Yuli was first team all district for defense. I'm hoping to move her up into mid. And then Christina Riley, which is Braxton's twin sister, she's one of my strikers.
Okay,
she's not here tonight, but she played a very key role into the team.
Okay, so you just use a soccer term.
Yes.
Okay, so for the folks out there that may not know, I know what this is because I learned because Eric, the mechanic Mendoza, he's the one that educated me on all these things. So tell everybody what the striker is.
There's someone who shoots the ball.
Right.
They try to make a goal.
Right. They're kind of like the running back or wide receiver. I mean, they're
trying to score.
They're on the offensive side. They're generally on the offensive side of the field, and that's who gets the ball, and that's who tries to. Those are the guys that are going to normally be scoring most of your goals.
Yeah, those are your guys that typically just finish the goal.
Yeah.
Or we always talk about, he's actually your first defender.
Yes.
And even though he's your forward, the moment that we lose the ball on the offensive third, then it's he turns into your first defender at
absolutely.
that. So the striker, obviously, it's a very important role because if you don't have a guy that has ice in his veins, then it can be kind of tough for you.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. We've seen it. We've had some good ones over the years.
Yes, indeed.
We really have.
Indeed.
All right, so we're getting ready to take a break, and we're going to bring up some of our players, but I'll give each of you guys a chance to kind of. Is there anything else we want to talk about? Okay, so let's talk about this. We play on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's going to start soon, and it's awful cold, but some of these games, but it's great to come out, bring you some hot chocolate, and come out.
Yes, throughout the years we've had quite a bit of support.
Yes.
But as the youth league is growing and there's been more community involvement and a lot more support from our athletic boosters and from Coach Meeks and the entire coaching staff that comes out and supports our kids.
The younger kids come and watch also.
That's so important.
Yes.
No, and the beautiful thing that has been happening since I've been here and I've seen it grown more, we have our basketball kids come out.
Yes.
Our volleyball, our girls basketball, even football players come out and just support, even though they don't know much about the sport itself on the lingo side.
Yes.
They understand when you score a goal, when you make a good pass.
That's
And,
If they hear us yell, they'll yell the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm going to tell you something. This is the honest truth. There are times I get up early on Saturday morning and go flip it on and watch some English Premier League or something that's on, and it's just, I mean, soccer or football is a great sport.
Yes.
And again, once you kind of have to learn, just like any other sport, you got to kind of learn some of the stuff, but then you see it. And what is cool is what I see, what we're doing, some of the same stuff that we're doing. That's what the pros are doing. I mean, it is. I look at that, I go, oh, I recognize that. It is so cool.
Yes,
so,
definitely.
So anyway, thanks you guys for joining us.
Sir.
We'll see.
Thank
We
you.
may have y'all get some of the players in. We may have y'all back because I got to spend all the time, and maybe Wallington may want to talk to you or Coach Meeks. But anyway, let's take a quick break, folks, and we're going to hear from a couple more sponsors, and we'll be back for our next segment right after this.
At Sabine State Bank, you have a lot of things going for you. It's a small office, so everybody knows you by name. They know your needs individually. And maybe best of all, you got Steve Waters working for you. Steve will bend over backwards to make sure that he and his staff are doing everything they can do to meet your financial needs. Sabine State Bank.
Father, for lunch today, I would like a salad.
Father, for lunch, I'd like one of those American
no, I couldn't possibly.
cheeseburgers.
I'm a vegetarian.
Cheeseburger. That's
what I need.
Ice cream. Oh, when everyone in your family thinks they're royalty, take them someplace where they can all get something good. Dairy Queen.
At Rough Rider Oil and Lube, they understand two very important things. First, you and your family spend a lot of time in your vehicle, so you need to take good care of that vehicle so it can take care of you. That's the specialty of Rough Rider Oil and Lube, protecting the engine that gets you where you need to go. Second, Rough Rider fans, they deserve the very best, so you're always welcome at Rough Rider Oil and Lube.
Center Rough Rider football tonight brought to you in part by Covington Lumber Supply, 3 generations and still building strong. Ace Hardware, the place for hardware in East Texas. And Brookshire Brothers. They sold their first bag of groceries when the Rough Riders ran their first play, 102 years strong. What sort of thing do you expect from a good coach like Rick Meeks? To prepare you, to make you ready for the game, to make sure that the good times outnumber the bad times, but that when bad times come, you can weather the storm. What do you expect from a good financial planner? Well, much the same thing, so that your family and you get across the finish line on top of the world. That's why JBA Financial sponsors our Coach Talk with Rick Meeks. JBA Financial and Rough Rider Football.
Welcome back to the Pizzeria, Coach Rick Meeks Show. But we just had a good segment on soccer, and we have now girls soccer coach, girls soccer players, girls soccer time. We really appreciate, by the way, Dr. Collard, which, again, just right over there to the left of the camera, the optometrist on the square and the excellence that he provides, but also the fun for basketball sponsorships. He's the three-point line. Every time we hit a three-pointer, it's from downtown. You can see with Dr. Collard all the way from downtown. It's pretty good. And then when we get to soccer season, the corner kicks brought to you by Dr. Collard. So y'all didn't know that. Tell everybody who you are.
Hi, my name is Juliana Garcia, and I'm a 4-year starter, and I've been playing defense for 4 years. Mina?
I'm Mina Olivares, and I'm also a 4-year starter, and I've been playing defense too, just like Yuli.
Okay, so the two of you have you always played defense?
Yes, sir.
So when you started as a freshman, are you still playing the same positions now that you were then?
Yes, sir.
So you know it pretty well by now. So I don't know if we have a microphone that's kind of an independent mic that might pick you up, but if we're going to put it in that pizza, that's gross.
It's on.
Yeah, so are these girls any good?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
They can play?
Yes.
Okay, when you say play defense, assume that the people who are watching know very little about soccer. Tell me where in the field you are, what your responsibilities are. Talk me through a play in a soccer game that you guys are involved with.
Well, I'm like we both are like in the center of defense,
Okay.
and we're like right in front of the goalie, and so we're
Oh.
kind of like the sweeper. So if there's like
Sweeper. So what is a sweeper?
so you kind of stay behind like the defense, and then if a ball goes by or someone that's very fast, you kind of just stop them before they
Okay.
can get to the goal.
The last line of defense.
Yeah.
The last line of defense before the goalie himself or
Yes,
herself.
sir.
Okay. So that's kind of pressure. But are there parts in a game where you're just kind of standing there, or are you always reacting to something?
Sort of, yeah. Because I also go up and help.
Oh, okay.
Trying to move her into midfield.
So they have permission to leave the goal box. How do you know when I got to get back to the goal box? When does
When
that?
I see the ball going back
Okay.
down to the goal.
Okay. And a lot of times, the whole team, both teams, it seems like, are right there around that goalie box. And from where we're announcing, you can't tell what's going on. In football, that's called a scrum. What do y'all call it when the whole gang is just around kicking at each other? Is there a word for that?
Cluster.
A cluster. Okay. In the cluster, tell me what happens.
Nothing much. I mean, yeah, you're just fighting for the ball
Do you get kicked?
sometimes
Yeah.
and stepped on.
Yeah, and all that. And then sometimes the ball goes the way you want it to go, and then sometimes it goes right out, and you hope the goalie sees it. Are those pressure moments?
Yes.
What's the moments you like best? I mean, when here comes the ball, oh, this is what I like.
When I stop a goal or something, like if the goalie's not there and I stop it, that's like
Okay.
a good moment for me.
That's like why you play. You feel the same way?
Yeah.
Okay. So does it ever come up that you guys get to go across midfield and
Yes, sir.
okay. So scoring, is that even an outside option for you?
Not really, but when I play up top, I do.
Okay. So have you scored goals
I've
before?
scored 4 goals this year, or last season.
Rotate and when they can move and fill in.
Well, that's great. I'm learning all sorts of cool stuff. Okay, so we're going to play word association right quick. You ready? Mm-hmm. First thing that pops into your mind, and we'll start with you. Rider Week.
8-mile run.
Okay. 8-mile run. Is there a particular speed you have to run it, or or if you could just survive?
Just surviving.
Okay.
These are pretty good with the lower classmen, the ones that are kind of struggling, talking them through it and being leaders for them.
Okay. So, I mean, you encouraging people on the 7th and 8th mile. Because you could encourage me all you wanted, and I'm just going to be laying over on the curb. But so, all right, first thing that pops into your head when you hear game day.
Winning. We'll win.
And let me see the win sign again. Your fingernails are a lot more attractive than mine. Yeah. Okay. Away game. Away game. What do you think about?
The food, fast food.
Oh, really? Good food, I guess. What about penalty kick?
I'll be like, because I have a feeling I'm going to miss it. I'm not really.
Okay.
When we do PKs,
Oh, yeah, she yells at me and tells me.
hit a corner. You got to hit a corner.
Hit a corner.
Yeah.
All right. So, Coach L. First thing that pops in your mind.
Yelling.
Yeah? But is it a loving yell? Yeah.
Most of the time.
Either of you or both of you or all three of you. Coach G.
Helpful. Helpful.
Is he?
Very supportive.
Supportive, Coach G.
These have been with me since I started student teaching.
Oh, really? In junior high, I guess, in middle school.
Yeah,
So
they were in 5th grade when I was student teaching, and we've kind of moved up together, and now they're seniors.
So you student taught here as well. This is your 7th year.
Yes.
So including that student teaching semester. Wow. So get this as close as you can. I know from experience when you have seen people grow up, they mean they're special. But
Yeah.
I never had the privilege. I was always high school. All I got is at best 9 through 12. What's it like to know these girls from when they were 10?
I don't know. I love to see them grow, and whenever I saw them in middle school, I was like, I didn't realize they were going to be such a big part of my life.
Yeah.
And so they've been with me through it all.
Yeah. It's an emotional kick, isn't it?
This will be a rough year.
I'm sure. Okay, we're going to turn them down. Let me just make sure I don't turn me down. And let's see if we can get the guys and Coach G to come over here and gather around the mic. Thank you, girls, for playing the word association game. We're going to bring the gentlemen over with their coach. We'll ask them some of the same questions, but Coach G, grab a headset and sit on this end, and the guys come. Well, shoot, there's two of them, so I guess that mic will be close enough. Yeah. Okay. So, tell us who you are, and I guess you get the mic. Tell us who you are. Yeah.
My name is Edwin Rodriguez, and I am a forward for the Center High School soccer team, and I've been on varsity for the past 4 years.
Okay. Have you always been a forward?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, were you starting as a freshman?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to remember I have a question for you. And who are you?
My name is Braxton Riley, and I've been on the varsity soccer team for the past 3 years.
3. Okay. And what's your position?
A forward.
Okay. So let's go back to your freshman year. Who were the seniors on that team that you looked up to?
There was Javi, Aaron, Peter, and all them. They were pretty good on.
What's one of them, or maybe two of them, that were an influence? What did you somebody that you learned something from and looked up to and thought, yeah, I'm going to be like him my senior year?
Peter too. He would always work hard every practice. He would have good leadership and that kind of.
You remember Peter? That was, I guess, our first year to do this. Is one of the first years, and we were impressed with him too. Okay,
yes, sir.
That's cool. What's somebody that you remember from your sophomore year that was a senior?
I recognize Aaron Gonzalez for me.
Okay, these guys anything like those guys?
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of qualities pertaining to the game. Also, things that that are hard for us as coaches to teach sometimes, which is commitment to the game and leadership qualities. That's something that they share with those guys, and maybe it was inspiration that they acquired from them, or it was just something that they come with from their upbringing, which is definitely something as coaches that we appreciate tremendously.
What day this year did Rider Week start?
It always starts the Monday after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Which this year's 27th, I think.
Okay, the 27th. So here, let's play the word association game. It's Sunday the 26th. It's the day before Rider Week. What's going through your head?
Trying to prepare mentally for all that. Weightlifting.
What do you think?
Like everyone said, just trying to prepare and be ready physically and mentally.
So that night when you go to bed, are you dreading it, or is there a little bit of you that's kind of looking forward to it?
Both.
You're
Yeah.
looking forward to dreading it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's the first thing that pops in your mind when you hear game day?
Well, win.
Yeah.
Good enough? Okay, home game. I asked them away game. What about home game? Which do you prefer?
I like away games the most because I like to see the face of the fans once we beat their team.
Oh, I like to watch the home crowd cry. That's cool, though. That's the way it ought to be. What about you? Home games or away?
I pick home game
Why
because it's the people, like your family, your friends, coming to support you. Man.
Okay. Which do you prefer?
I like home games. In part from what Braxton said, to see our family and friends that come out and support us, even though it's crazy cold at times and rain, sleet, and unfortunately we don't get no snow. We just get frozen. Frozen frozen rain. But also the idea that it's a long ride home for the other team.
Yeah.
That's what gets me going for that.
See ya.
Yeah.
That's
for
great.
Sure.
And you have a different district. I mean, football has its district, and then everybody else has their district, unless you're soccer or I guess maybe tennis. So tell us, unless you've already done this, who's in the district?
So we have the newcomer in the district this year is Tenaha. They became UIL officially a UIL team. And even though they don't have 2A soccer, are they 2A or 1A? I'm not sure.
They're 2A.
Okay, they don't have a 2A category for soccer in UIL, so they had to play up. They were okay with playing up, so obviously they would fall in our district because they're right down the street.
Yeah.
Then
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bizarre because
Yeah.
there is a really huge difference between the two schools.
It is.
That's like playing, if you were football, it would be playing up, 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 up.
Yes.
4 divisions
Correct.
up.
Correct.
But still, it's county.
Mhm.
And that's,
It is.
I envy that with Timpson and Garrison and Shelbyville and St. Augustine, all those
Correct.
around the ring. So that's kind of
Correct.
cool.
Yeah, I mean it's a challenge for them nonetheless, but I think that it's great exposure for those kids.
Sure.
Which I mean that's if we want to find the silver lining, I think that's it because I feel like some of those kids deserve that spotlight and something to fight for, not just because they had a club team and not just get together and let's go play. Now it's they have a goal they want to achieve and they can get that spotlight. So we have Tenaha, then we have Carthage,
Carthage,
Henderson.
that's just past Tenaha, about 15 miles.
Yes, sir.
I know
Yes,
where that
sir.
is.
Yeah, you'll run into it. Then we have Henderson, and then we had Spring Hill, but they dropped the team because they didn't have
really?
enough kids
Oh.
to show. So we went back. Since we picked up Tenaha, we ended up losing Spring Hill because of that. They didn't have enough kids come out for the team. We also have New Diana, which New Diana is a 3A team.
Mm-hmm.
They're on the same boat as Tenaha as well. And then we have Kilgore, which Kilgore is pertaining to soccer. They are right now. I think
Yeah.
preseason rankings they're number 2 in the state.
Yeah.
So that's
So they're the Hosses.
yeah. And then who else did I miss?
Lamar?
Sabine.
Oh yeah, Sabine.
Sabine,
is
yeah.
also there.
Sabine.
They have good years, but they'll go 2 years having a good team, and then 4 years where they're
They had the best single athlete that I have seen play soccer, and I hadn't seen a bunch, but
Yeah.
that guy a couple
yeah.
of years ago was something.
Oh yes, indeed. And then who else? Hope.
Wascom?
No.
No.
We played them in preseason.
Tatum.
Oh yeah, Tatum.
Okay.
Tatum.
So it's hard to imagine a universe that Tenaha and Kilgore are in the same district.
Correct.
But that universe is soccer.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's amazing. That is something else.
And I mean, it is what it is, but it really, I mean, it hurts you in your preparation towards the playoffs. I mean, fortunately for us, we have Henderson and we have Kilgore and even Carthage at times and Sabine that you can get good competition and good quality runs and you get to see a higher level. But then, then you have the Tenahas that are not quite on that level that is needed to compete 90 minutes versus a team that has depth on their bench and skill and just more physically imposing.
Makes it difficult. Who would you say is your biggest rival?
Kilgore.
Kilgore? Because everybody else says Carthage. I mean, even like some of the sports where we pretty much always beat Carthage, that's the one we want to these guys.
Right.
But is Carthage number 2 or is
No. Henderson.
Henderson?
Yeah, because Carthage is, or at least for us, they're an afterthought.
Okay.
If I can say that.
I just want to savor that. I enjoyed that. Thank you. Well, see what you learn on the Rick Meeks Show here at the pizzeria. We'll hear from our last round of sponsors, and we'll come back and wrap this up. But thank you guys for joining us, and
Yes,
best of
sir.
luck to you. I
Thank
hope we can visit with them again. Their first game is a week from tonight. They'll be playing in the 38-degree weather instead of enjoying pizza here. We'll be right back to wrap this up.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thought you'd seen the last of the Ford Bronco? Well, you were wrong. Ford brought the Bronco back so they could put the S in SUV. Comfort and connectivity for the highway to get you there, and then the power you need for your off-road adventure. Run at the front of the herd. Saddle up a Bronco at Center Motor Company.
What sort of thing do you expect from a good coach like Rick Meeks? To prepare you, to make you ready for the game, to make sure that the good times outnumber the bad times, but that when bad times come, you can weather the storm. What do you expect from a good financial planner
Well, much the same thing, so that your family and you get across the finish line on top of the world. That's why JBA Financial sponsors our Coach Talk with Rick Meeks. JBA Financial and Rough Rider Football.
So many things get started at pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the pizzeria just off the square in Center.
You just heard it and saw it, the pizzeria just off the square in Center. A beautiful place, beautiful Christmas tree, and some great students.
People.
Yeah, beautiful people. Making pizza and talking about soccer and athletics. That's pretty good. You're right. Those students are all right.
It was fun to be around.
Do you ever go to like a sport and do you ever like assist? Like get involved with a drill or something, even though you're not particularly an expert in it?
Every once in a while, I like to mess with Coach G actually when soccer rolls around, as they'll be out there and I find a way to hop in the drill and take off running, and then he does a double take, and then he's like, "That's not one of mine."
Yeah.
And then he goes on about his business, like he doesn't even pay me any mind. But no, I do. Like I said, I like to just kind of get out of my office every once in a while and just go and just have a good time with the kids, and it's good for my soul every once in a while just to get out and go.
Kind of reminds you why all that office work's
right.
So basketball's rolling, and our girls team is a surprise. It's a surprise contender, it looks like.
Yes, sir.
Probably not a surprise to you guys, but it is to the folks that are watching. And of course, Hiram's team's always going to be good, but you also have some banquets where we'll be looking back at the fall.
Right.
When are those, and what are they?
Do we get free food if we get to go?
Yeah. I'll make sure y'all are taken care of. I mean, I'll make sure you have a pepperoni pizza.
That's all we need.
Monday, December 18th will be our volleyball and cross-country banquet. We're actually having it a little bit sooner than normal this year because Coach Spikes, our volleyball coach, is expecting. So we're trying to get that in before she goes on maternity leave per her request. So I figured I would try to honor that.
Yeah.
And then our football banquet will be Monday, January 22nd. Both of them are scheduled at 6:30 in the high school cafeteria. And, we would love to have everybody come out. Tickets and everything will be done at the venue. We will not pre-sale anything. Okay. But those are the two that we have coming up.
We hope to get there. It's just a matter of making sure the schedules work. We stream that. Not very many people watch while it's going.
Right.
They're there, but a lot of folks like to go back and, hey, look, this is when I got my award.
Yep.
So it's a nice deal to do, and it's always brought by Payne and Payne. It's not hardware and such like, but Home and such like are our special occasion sponsors. So we hope to be there, but that's kind of a bittersweet thing, isn't it? Because that's where you will officially see a lot of your senior athletes that you've grown up like you watch them grow.
Right.
That's their last moment as football
Right.
players or as
and it's a really good thing because as you get going through the season, and I know me personally with football, like one thing that we constantly tell the kids is, all right, we're worried about the next thing, and we don't really take time to reflect back on accomplishments that the kids have worked really hard for. And we talk about it in the locker room and acknowledge it so they don't feel like they were left out, but we really don't get it out there in the paper or on social media because also all that matters at that point is whoever we're playing the next week. So this gives us a time to really take a step back and center in on our kids. And when I got to center, it was one big banquet at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And we have sectioned those off now because I think the kids deserve that. They deserve us to honor and recognize more things than maybe just a team MVP. There's so many other things that happen throughout the year that need to be talked about, and so this allows us to do that.
Can't possibly do that when every sport.
That's correct.
Yeah.
When you're up there and you try to do it all in one, and you have 30 different coaches trying to talk, and you're trying to respect everybody's time, you really don't get to talk about the things that happen. So.
And because Coach Leon Dykes cannot talk any faster than this, he's maxed out, man.
Straight from Cali, via Las Vegas.
That's right. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that's coming up. We hope.
Yes, sir.
We got the Mancos and stuff coming up, but I mean, we're going to do some soccer too when we get the chance. I mean, I know we did last year. I know you and I did a lot of soccer games, Chris. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it again this year. Do some soccer.
It's one of my favorite because it's just so different, you know. And
we get to go goal.
Yeah,
that's it.
And it's always fun to talk to the students before and after the game. That's so foreign, you know. They see the big timers do it, but with football, it's not that foreign. And with basketball, it's still pretty cool. But when you go up to a soccer kid after a game, it's just it just makes my day.
Yeah.
It's because we just made theirs,
Right.
and so that's fun.
Right. Yes, sir.
So all that's coming up. Thank you.
Hey, wait, we got plenty of other stuff too. Because I mean, I know we're getting ready to start our game of the week on NetSN. It
Talk about that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So starts tomorrow. Game of the week starts tomorrow, and right now we have Shelbyville and San Augustine kind of hooked in on that, and it's on NetSN. Tomorrow night, our first game in San Augustine will be the girls will be San Augustine and Brookland, and then the guys will be Shelbyville and San Augustine. And we'll do this on Tuesdays coming up here in December. And then then I'm going to go with you guys and call center games because I got to get my center fixed in with you guys on Friday night. So that's what we're going to do. But and that's where it's going to go. So we've got games scheduled, and we're going to cover a lot of those teams. We're going to be in Broadus. We're going to be in Torino. We're going to have Martinsville on. We're going to have all these teams in the area. They're going to be part of the NetSN. We're going to be bringing those to you through basketball season. I'll be there on the call. Keaton Watlington, I'm hoping to have him out there. He's really wanted to learn. He's wanted to get out there and give him some play-by-play time. And it's going to be on NetSN. It's absolutely free. So Tuesday nights you can check in, and we're going to keep you up. And next week, it's okay with you, Coach? We're going to see if we can get the Shelbyville coach to come down. That'll give us a couple games with him. And then the San Augustine coach to come down the week before that, after that, and just have a little segment there, talk to them about their teams, and let's involve all the teams in the area. That's what we're out here for.
Branch out a little bit, perhaps. Right. Now, tomorrow, while he's doing that, Shires and I are going to be in the Center Rough Rider gym. Center Rough Riders playing. And we've never done December basketball. So,
what? Is this the first?
Yeah.
Come on.
we just had never done it. We're
hey, me and Shires did better girls the other day. We did good, so I know you guys will have a handle.
We're getting started with something that should have already been done. So that's rolling along, and then it's not center, but the Timpson Bears in their semifinal game will be in the Conroe area, and it's going to be on NFHS network, and we are going to get to bring that to you.
And we're also working on doing it on our YouTube channel on the audio only.
Yeah.
So we'll have a black screen. We'll have the scoreboard up there, but it'll be audio and it'll be free.
You're like
That's
listening to a radio with a scoreboard.
We did that last week on the call.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you, folks, you don't know what an honor it is for the NetSN crew to be picked to do this game.
Yeah, it really.
I'm trying to tell you, this is pretty special, man, to have this crew picked to do this game. That's pretty awesome for guys in this area to be able to go do this game on a national stage like that.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool, man.
That's
I have
true.
to give it to you.
National Federation. There are people in Maine and Oregon watching. So
they're going to want to watch this because of who? Number 10.
Yeah.
They're going to want to watch because of Terry Bussey, and they're going to be watching us do the ball game. That's pretty cool. I think we need to get Coach to go with us.
Okay. Well, come on. Shire says he needs to say something, but you're right. It is an honor. It proves that we are literate.
Right. Somewhat, anyway.
Coach, you got me turned down. Yeah. All right, so Coach, we would be remiss if we did not discuss one last thing to end the show. Now, just when the University of Texas
Roll Tide.
When the University of Texas
Roll Tide.
Well, hold on a second.
Oh, okay.
When the University of Texas takes care of Washington, and then when Alabama curb stomps Michigan, which is going to happen. Then we're going to set it up. It's going to be a rematch. It's going to be like Ali and Frazier 2. And, baby, we're going to take y'all out again. but until then, roll Tide.
Until then, roll Tide.
Roll Tide and hook them.
Gig them, too. They playing somewhere.
They got some game. I mean, somebody will watch them.
Yeah, they're no telling where they're at.
Maybe so. It's going to be great. I think I want to go on the record and say I think the committee got it right. I think. I know. But anyway, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be fun, and we're going to have to watch that game together.
We'll have to. We'll have to. I'm down for that.
All right, folks. Mr. Pierce, got anything else you want to add this evening?
I'm just happy that what we have the opportunity to do in this basketball season, so that's something to smile about, man. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's go.
All right, folks. That's going to wrap it up. Another week, another fine television broadcasting here with the Coach Meeks Show, brought to you by Sabine State Bank. Of course, we're here at the Pizzeria. You see these fine pizzas. That we'll finish them off after the show is over. But anyway, see y'all next week. Again, tune in live on NetSN tomorrow evening to see Larry covering St. Augustine and Shelbyville. And then C-Watt and I will be covering the center, running Rough Riders live from Rough Rider Gym at 7. We'll come on about 7 o'clock. Playing Central Heights.
Oh, Central Heights.
So it'll be Central Heights. So that should be a good ball game. Again, another school that really focuses on basketball. So until then, we'll see y'all later. And roll tide and hook 'em horns.
Have you sustained a bone, joint, work, or sports injury? Problems with mobility or movement? Suffer with pain? Contact Azalea Orthopedics. Our specialists serve patients across East Texas. For proven, trusted medical care, you have a choice. Demand Azalea.
NetSN and Azalea Orthopedics bring you this Watlington and Shires production live from the Pizzeria. Brought to you by NetSN and Azalea Orthopedics bring you this Watlington and Shires production live from the Pizzeria. Brought to you by Sabine State Bank.
Three-point shot. This has been a presentation of the Rough Rider broadcast team, brought to you by Watlington and Shires Productions.